Hey guys, so even though I didn't get this star, why not get the rest, you know? Yeah, let's do the 6th night. Now, I haven't played the original Five Nights at Freddy's in a while. A couple of years, actually. So, this is certainly going to be an experience. This game feels so much slower. It also feels a lot more scary, you know, atmospheric. I can't. The area for like movement is so much smaller. I don't want to go onto my second monitor, which I theoretically could like move to my right. So yeah, this has just increased my editing load from 2 videos to 3 videos, but that's Stinger, man. You know, I actually am, as of now, liking this game much more than Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Who could have thunked it? I always thought this one was boring. But actually, it's pretty cool. Especially compared to the nightmare that is FNAF 2. The absolute agony. Now, I know that this isn't going to be nearly as hard as 420. But well, that's not good. It's 2 a.m. and I'm at 60% power, which isn't good. Chica comes out to play. FNAF 1 nights are so long. Okay, I'm at like 47%. I'm at 3 a.m. When's Foxy gonna leave? Make his grand escape. Five Nights at Freddy's. Is this where you wanna be? I just did it. Doo-doo-doo-doo. How the heck does it use power to keep the doors closed? I'm a winner! Quite quickly this time, too. Yay! Da 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 da. La da da da. La da da da. I'm Employee of the Month. Okay. That was a pretty easy second star. I think that was my first try, right? I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Freddy, he's just gonna be on the right door the entire time, and you can't have it closed the entire time. So you only close the right door when your monitor is up, except when Chica is there, because you know Freddy can only get you when Chica is gonna get you, you know. But yeah, you know. You know. You know. Okay. Shall we try? Night 7. Let's adventure into the deep depths of Night 7. Ha ha ha. Oh, Foxy! See, Foxy is always the worst in every game. In every game, Foxy is consistently just evil. And he wants to, like, eat your soul. You know? Okay, I have looked up the goods, the strategy, okay? And apparently, you're just supposed just to completely ignore the existence of Freddy and Chica. Just always have it on the East Hall corner, and Foxy will probably always just not be there. But you also need to every now and again close the East Hall door, and also check the light because Chica might slip through. Close the door, go to Foxy, go back, open the door. But you shouldn't have to close the right door very much. That whole like open close thing is only if you're not looking at Freddy. But if you are looking at Freddy, you don't need to do that. Oh god damn, Foxy! I was pressing the button! I was trying to press the button, but then my mouse went into my other monitor, so then I couldn't. Alright, so we need to act more calm. See, unlike in FNAF 2, acting frantic just gets you killed. Kind of just sit here for a while. Ah. Freddy is such a mischievous little guy. See, unlike Balloon Boy, I actually like hearing him laugh. It's like he's an old buddy, an old pal, you know? It's just like, oh, hey, isn't it kind of funny how I can, like, teleport and stuff? I'm also, like, a little trickster. And yeah, it is. How did that happen? Was it just meandering around too long? Alright, so don't meander. So meander, but don't meander too much. Should ideally be at around 80% at 1 a.m. Okay. Yeah, it's way too late in the early in the night for it to work, but I guess you go all the way around to the other side. Take a minute. Oh. More music? I didn't know asking for more music was so scary. I didn't know encores were that scary, man. Like, jeez. The biggest enemy in this game is the electricity. The electrical company is the real villain of the game. You know, charging us for electricity. You know, doing things a company does. Staying in business, that's the worst sin they could have committed. Being employed? Evil. I don't need my left hand for this game. %38 at 3 a.m. That's not very good. Okay. Well, I'm also not going to win this one. See, I keep getting to like 5 a.m. So I just need to be a little more conservative with my power usage and not somehow be down to like 70%, like 65%. No, like 60% at 1 a.m. What happened? I don't know how that could have possibly happened. It's a mystery. It is truly a mystery. I should stay on East Hall Corner. The amount of time when I don't need to be on East Hall Corner is very low. So I have to survive 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 hours that you need to survive. So you get a certain, so we could divide the power into sixths to figure out how much power you're allowed to use in each hour. Foxy! I was about to do that! I was about to take care of your little things that you need, but no! You're just gonna bite my face off before I can take care of you. So I've gone past my... Okay. I'm just barely past my allotted usage for the hour. Let me do the math for this one. 84 minus 16 is... some amount. I wasn't going to win, so... Okay, so calculator. If we were to go... So we have 6... So 100 minus 16... 84. So we need 84 at the start of 1 a.m. Minus 16... 68 at the start of 2. 52 at the start of 3. 36 at the start of 4. 20 at the start of 5. That's wrong. Minus 1 over 6. So... Oh. No. Okay. 1 minus 1. So you need 83.3% at the start of 1. 66%. 67% at the start of 2. 50% at the start of 3. 33% at the start of 4. 17% at the start of 5. So you need like 16 or 17% at the start of 5 in order to make it. But we can add, we can subtract. Yeah, you could probably survive with like 13, 14%, right? Maybe even 12, 11. But 10 is definitely the minimum. I've gotten pretty close, right? You know? So it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Oh, I lose. Okay, so I didn't check Bonnie enough, and I saw 87%, but I didn't check and see 1 a.m. I didn't actually have time to see that. So, if it was at 1 a.m., good job, me. I lost, but she was pretty aggressive. The RNG is definitely plays a role, but I don't think it plays as big a role as in FNAF 2. My 85% is still not 1 a.m. 83. 1 at 83. That's not good. God dang it, Foxy! Does anyone else hear little children playing in that static? Am I just insane? Okay, I'm gonna take a break real quick. Not another day, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've eaten. I've done some YouTube watching. Yeah. So it is time to get back playing 420. I remember the strategy. I have memory. It's the thing I have. So, yeah. Is this supposed to be widescreen? I literally can't tell. How about I just measure these squares that are clearly supposed to be squares and see if they are squares? That's about 3.5-ish inches. And then vertically it's 3 3/4. Yeah. So by about 1/4 of an inch, it's off. Meaning it is. Oh yeah. You can see in the little mini OBS window way better that they are not supposed to be like this. But wouldn't you expect the opposite? I'm so confused. I'll figure out in post. It should be 4x3, right? That's how all of the FNAF games are. They're all 4x3. At least I thought. I knew I messed up. I knew I had 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 messed up. I knew it. I knew it. See, this very much feels like it's supposed to be widescreen. I can't tell. I can't tell. I'm just gonna look it up really quick on my phone. Here. Is FNAF 1 widescreen? I know FNAF 2 and 3 aren't widescreen. Yes, it is actually 16:9, but its sequels are 4:3. That is weird. Why? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Why is it? That's weird. So FNAF 1 is the only one that is supposed to be widescreen out of the original trilogy, but with 4. Weird. I don't know why Scott switched to 4:3 for the second game, just for fun. Like, wouldn't it be great if this game was suddenly 4:3? Wouldn't that be awesome? How come I already died to Chica? How did that happen? How'd that happen? I don't get it. How'd that happen? How did that happen? Maybe Scott just wanted to draw less pixels. Maybe he was like, I can make, this is, maybe it's like a, don't you dare. Maybe it's like a, for when you make things faster, that word, in programming, when you make things faster. Optimization, yeah. Maybe it's an optimization thing. Ha ha! Ah ha! Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da. This is so wasteful. Da 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 ba da da. Yeah, if Foxy would just stop attacking, you know, that would be great. It'd really save me a lot of power here. So maybe the secret strat is to actually idle in the camera a lot. Maybe the opposite of not use power. How to not lose power? Use as much power as possible. Then there'll be no more left to use. Immediately. That's like the fastest it's ever happened to me. Jeez. Really rolled a 0. This didn't roll 0 there. Boo. Alakazam. Washington? Why did that start playing? I thought I was about to get an encore or something. What? Okay. Don't poop on the floor. Okay. I'll try. I don't know, I poop on the floor all the time. Every day, essentially. Still in the stall corner. Good. Didn't go run away. Which I'd actually prefer. Did that. If it weren't for Foxy, I would have beaten this night already. Like, Foxy is the sole thing that is making this night so hard to beat. It is really not all that good at not being super obvious about where he is at all times. He's just like the loudest laugher you ever did see. Here, really. This is fun. Just to get over there. There you are. Da 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 da. Oh, that was a pretty long one. Oh, Freddy, I want an encore. I think that was a no. I think the goal is just to stare at this until you hear Freddy laugh. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho 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 ho. Freddy's laugh is so funny. Best time to look at Foxy is when Chica is at the door. So then the door already has to be closed. So then you aren't just wasting more power that doesn't need to be wasted. Using the exact amount of power that needs to be wasted. Okay, I was at 4 a.m. Late 4 a.m. Why is he laughing? I could get to mid 5 a.m. Oh, that was an early one. Oh, no encore. Maybe that's just Freddy using his singing voice. Maybe he's just singing us to death, right? He knows we want encore, so he starts singing, but then we die. And then he feels so ashamed that he has to hide us because we died from hearing his beautiful singing voice. Just a guess. Alright, so I think I could probably save a little power by just looking at this a little less than I did. At the beginning, at least. Not as much as I did in the middle. Alright, we want Foxy to not have any sort of chance at attack until like 3 a.m. Sometimes these lights just don't turn off when I press the button. That's kind of annoying. Jeez, Freddy, right on it. Walking around, are we? Can I get an encore? Please? Or music box? Please? Come on, I know you want to. Okay, Freddy. See, the best way to say no to someone is just say no to them. Not, you know, scream in their face. Yeah. Just a general rule of thumb. You know. It was raining for a second. I was like, what? Is raining in the building? Technically, you can cheese this entire game by running it at 2 frames per second. I'm not going to do that. Mostly because I don't know how to run a game at 2 frames per second. Yeah, but the slower you run the game at, the less Foxy moves. I know you find it hilarious, Freddy. I know you truly do. See me suffer. Once I hit the 1 hour mark on this recording, I'm going to watch someone beat 420. Just so I, see how frantic they are. How frantic you need to be. Franticity level you need to be at. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna see, because I literally looked at Bonnie and I moved my mouse up to close the door, and then it was already too late. So. Alright, so I'll see you in a minute. I know the strat. So I watched Ambience's video. I'll have that linked. And so the strat is actually not to not be schizophrenic, but to be the most schizophrenic. Who would have guessed? So we'll see the strategy, and if you want to know more about it, I'll have, like I said, I'll have the strategy linked in the description. Maybe one of those little cards, those eye cards. You can see that. So basically, you gotta that. It's just that. You need to see the little white flash for it to work. And I was like really smart to do that Chica thing. So the goal is to be above 60% at 2 a.m. and above 45% at 3 a.m. and above 25% at 4 a.m. Then I was right about above 10% at 5 a.m. I believe Foxy isn't even past his first little stage. Yeah. Gosh dang it. He needs to get better at pressing the buttons. And also seeing things. Sometimes I think I'm blind. These games, you know. These games, man. I see something and I'm like, ooh, there's a thing there, and I just pretend I don't see it. He got his Foxy at 4 a.m. Speaking of Foxy, where the heck is he? See what do you know what I was saying about being blind, about acting blind? That was another situation of me acting blind. What? What? See, I acted blind there, but then Bonnie was in my office, and then Chica got me. What, are we inviting everyone to the office now? Is Bonnie just like, oh, hey, come in here. Let's all hide behind him. Like, I saw Bonnie, and I was like, okay, I shouldn't open the door. And then I pressed the button to open the door. This is my life. This is just how I am. But I was doing pretty good on power. So you start doing the buttons, the lights, at 97%. I'm really bad at breathing just normally. Like I just kind of forget to breathe sometimes. This game does not help that. This game really does not help that. See, I pressed the button twice. I clicked twice. And it just... Bonnie is actually like the least of our problems. Is what that guy said. Ambience, I believe. Ambiance, however you want to pronounce it. And, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. He is a nuisance at worst. 60. He's nothing like Toy Bonnie, where he wrecks the entire run, no matter what. He's about as much of an issue in this as Withered Bonnie is in 1020 FNAF 2. And he also, this ambiance guy, he came up with this way better way of doing triggering the run, where you trigger the run after the door's already closed, so you're not like frantically trying to close the door. That's pretty genius right there. I was on target, so if I hadn't done that, then you know. I mean, at this rate, Foxy's gonna jump me. What? Again, Chica? Really? Why is Chica always the one to kill me whenever Bonnie's locks up? Like, that's a little weird. Maybe Bonnie's just like too nice a guy to kill, you know, so Chica has to always get it done for him. Okay, I can beat him at 7. Easy. This is gonna be like the easiest thing I've ever done. I mean, gee, yeah. That was lucky. Foxy still hasn't gone to his next phase yet. It's on the first one. So in his little cove area. wouldn't be a Five Nights at Freddy's video without a freaking email notification sound. Still hasn't stepped out. We're about to do that light. Really? Foxy still hasn't moved as of the last time I checked his camera. nice time to die. I'm a winner! Ha! To be fair, I knew I was gonna win as soon as I hit 5 a. As soon as I had like 10% at 5 a.m. But yeah, that's me. I smell bad. Yes. Ba ba la da 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 la 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 la. Wow! 3 stars! That's me! I'm worth 3 stars. 3 gold stars, okay? At least $1 million worth of gold. I'm not sure how much gold is worth, but at least $3 million worth of gold. That's how much I am right now. What does that mean? Not a clue. But guess what? I've beaten you. I've beaten your horrible games. Freddy and Bonnie and Chica and Foxy. I've beaten their horrible, terrible games. And yeah, see, their power is rapidly deplenishing here. I mean, they're never going to be able to beat me in anything ever again. Oops.